Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is all about scholarships. If you're an incoming student in the US or if you're a current undergraduate or a graduate student, this video I'm sure is going to help you a lot in understanding what scholarships are and how they work. So this is the time, this is March 2025 right now, and in August most of the people are going to start their fall semester. So this is the time when you might be hearing back from colleges about your admission results. If not, you might be going into the fall semester for the next academic year, and this is when you should be applying for your scholarships and external fellowships. So whatever information I share with you would mostly be from the new school scholarship resources that I got from the decks and websites all across the new school in-person and online events. But this information also applies for other colleges more or less, especially in the US. And if not, it will at least give you a broader understanding of what these scholarships are and how they work. So I am a student at Parsons School of Design. I am a graduate first year student stepping into my second year. And even I am eligible to apply for scholarships that I can get for the second academic year. So you don't have to get a scholarship right at the time of your admission. So what are scholarships in the first place? Scholarships are funds that you receive from either institutions, government, or your company that you don't have to pay back. These are meant to provide support for your education, your academic education, and sometimes even your housing and other travel expenses revolved around your education. So at Parsons, how the scholarship works is that you get a merit-based scholarship right at the time of your admission. So you do not have to apply you do not have to fill any extra form, or you do not have to do anything else to get the scholarship. If at all you're eligible, if your work is good, your SOP, resume, if you align to the requirements, you will automatically be awarded this Dean's Merit-Based Scholarship along with your offer letter. This can range anywhere from 10 to 15% to even 75%. So now I'm talking about the new school. Depending on which college you are, this could even go up to 100%. So this, in my college, you can't negotiate this offer, but in some other colleges that I do know of, you can also negotiate the scholarship that you are awarded in the first place. And if you're not awarded this scholarship, not a problem, because there are so many external scholarships that you can also look at. So this is the internal scholarship that you get from within the organization, and the external scholarships are that you can get from a lot of different sources. Like there are a lot of agencies, organizations, companies, even the workplace where you work at, all of them have scholarships targeted for different kinds of people. I'll come to that eventually. So first, to give you a broader idea what scholarships are, the second thing is fellowships. So what are fellowships? Fellowships provide funding for your education, and it's usually it lasts for a smaller time, say for about a couple of months to a couple of years, from say between 2 to 3 months to up to 2 years of time. And this could either be for you working as an internship or a job, or you working on a particular project, and that is what a fellowship is awarded for. And then the third thing is the grants. So what are grants? Grants are particular non-repayable funds which are provided by the government or any other corporation or foundation, which are targeted for a particular travel project that you're working on, or a particular project or a research that you want to do. So grants is only granted towards a particular purpose. So this is the difference between scholarship, fellowship, and a grant. So I spoke about scholarship, a little bit about more fellowship. So for example, in Parsons, in the new school, there are two very popular fellowships, the India-China Fellowship and the Impact Entrepreneurship Fellowship, which you can find out about on the new school's website itself. And these are just two that came on top of my mind. There are multiple fellowships, and depending on your background, your interest, you can find one that suits you. Grants run across the semester throughout the year for both the years of my master's program. So they have different deadlines. Some of them have deadlines right before the fall semester begins, that is around March and April, and some of them have deadlines in January or even as early as November for the spring semester or even for the fall semester. So you have to always be on the look for these grants and fellowships, because they have to be tailored particular to your project. So what do you need to apply to these scholarships? So all of these scholarships, fellowships, and grants require a statement of purpose. You should be very clear of why you want to do this particular thing and why you are worthy of being awarded their money. The second is letter of recommendations. All these places usually require at least two letters of recommendations, preferably from academic backgrounds. The next thing is a series of questions. So all of these applications require you to fill in your transcripts, your undergraduate, or if you're applying for an undergraduate program, then your high school transcripts, and make sure you have a good academic holding. If not, also show your curricular activities, and they will have a lot of questions tailored to their particular project that they would require to answer you. And especially if you're applying for a fellowship or a personal project fund, then you also need to give a breakdown of the budget that you would require. So say for example, I want to travel to India for a research project, then I will need to show, okay, $700 for flight tickets, $200 for staying, $350 for my food, and so on and so forth. Like, describe what you're going for. If I'm going for a conference, then I need to describe that this is the ticket, this is how much the ticket would cost me, this is how much the travel would cost me, and so on. So they need to be applied very particularly. So how to begin to search for scholarships, fellowships, and these grants? So first of all, there are a lot of these scholarships, fellowships, and grants, and they are very general. So you have to make sure that you apply to very specific ones, because everyone is applying to these general scholarships, right? And your chances of getting in it are also low because everyone is applying to them in mass. So try asking these questions to yourself. What do you enjoy doing? What are you passionate about? What do you want to do in the future? Is there any project that you're doing currently and you would want to partner up with a certain organization to take it further and to build on it further? And what do you plan on doing after your education, after your current undergrad or graduate education? Do you plan on, say, working for women in rural India? Do you plan on working for Black women in America? Or anything in general? Do you plan on working on, are you a STEM? Are you a woman in STEM? So all of these examples are coming from me because I have done some research on them, and I saw a lot about women in STEM education because I am in a STEM course and I am a woman. So these are what applied to me. Like, I could apply for them and I was eligible to apply for them. So this is what I mean by being hyper specific. Where are you coming from? What has your background been like? Where do you stand financially? Is there anything very specific that you're doing? Are you a STEM student? There are a lot of fellowships for STEM students. There is this Fulbright scholarship that you have to also check. There's this Jawaharlal Nehru Scholarship, there is a Tata Fellowship, there's a Tata Scholarship, there is a Tata Grant. So all of these things, especially if you're coming from India, do check them out much in advance. And when I say much in advance, at least 6 months in advance, because their deadlines vary a lot. So you could start by asking these few questions. Some of the tips are apply early and apply often. It's always good to be on time because these things are hyper competitive, and you should apply much often and not put all your eggs in one basket and apply for one and just wait on it. If you have a list of scholarships that you're eligible for, then it's always advisable to make a timeline and make a to-do list for yourself. Keep the statement of purposes handy. The statement of purpose cannot be the same as the statement of purpose you applied for your college admissions. This has to be very tailored to the particular requirements of the grant that you are applying for. Then you need 2 letter of recommendations. Again, these can't be just copy pasted from the ones that you applied for college. It has to be your faculties or your mentors, whoever is writing this, has to be emailed directly to the scholarship board most of the times. And again, it has to be about you. It has to be particularly about the project and why you should be granted this. Most importantly, an academic transcripts and an evidence of your portfolio or your work. So I am a designer, so I have a portfolio. It's required everywhere, whatever I do, internship, jobs, grants, fellowships. So I always need a portfolio. So it's better to have a portfolio both in PDF version and a website version. So whichever they ask for, you can easily provide an evidence of your work. And lastly, there are obviously a lot of scams floating around, as it is with every other industry. So if a scholarship asks for suspicious information like your credit card number, your social security number, and so on, be careful. Maybe run that scholarship by your academic advisor or your counselor just to make sure that it's not a scam and you don't fall for it. Other than that, this is mostly an overview of how these things work. Just to summarize, Most of the colleges give you a merit-based scholarship from the dean's office right when you get the offer letter, and you don't have to do anything about it. You don't have to apply or fill any other form for this. If at all you're not eligible for this, or if you get a scholarship that is not enough, you can apply for external scholarships, and yes, that can be done. Scholarships can be piled up, but do reach out to your career advisor in your college to make sure how these things work in your college. But say if you got a scholarship of $10,000 and you got another scholarship for 5,000, you can bundle that up, and in total you can have a total scholarship of 15,000 or whatever, just an example. And there are three different types of grants. There is fellowship, scholarship, and grants for particular projects or travel funds. And make sure that you have all of the required documents, that is your essay, statement of purpose, letter of recommendations, transcripts, your working sample ready with you. And yeah, just keep up with the deadlines, because the deadlines vary a lot. These programs run throughout the year, so you have to always be on top of your calendar. So that's about it for this video. I will be linking some of the resources of the New School social media, New School Instagram. They're very active on Instagram, so check that out. And if you don't know how to look for these scholarships, just go to Google and search scholarships, Columbia University, or scholarships, the New School, and then you'll be redirected to the page. And most of the colleges will have everything that you need to know about scholarships right on their website. So do that, check out some lists, and do let me know if you have any questions. And thanks for watching this video, guys. I'll see you in the next video.